figured I didn't go live last night, so may as well go live now. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Um, I really just want to say like I don't know. It feels like just feels like everything's different now. Just feels like everything's like falling into place, and it's really just because of you guys. It's really just wow. I was streaming because you were busy. I literally just turned it on. I thought you were gonna take longer. What's Memo? What's up, Memo? I don't know why I said what's Memo. How's everything? Look how it's calm. What? What does that mean? I'm confused. Do you remember me? I've been streaming a lot lately. I'm sorry. When were we talking? If you remind me of the conversation, I'll remember it. But you gotta give me like specifics. My bad. It's getting harder and harder to like keep track of everyone. Um, like if you're here consistently, I'll remember. But like if it's just like a one-time thing or two-time thing, like it's uh, it's getting harder and harder to keep track. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. It's just like it's not because I don't care. It's just like there's just a lot of people now. Dude, we got 20 people in here. What the hell? That's crazy. How's everyone doing today? Everyone doing good? Don't worry. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I don't want to like. I feel bad like when someone asks me if I remember them, and like if we haven't talked in a week or two, like there's been so much drama, so much stuff going on. Like it's just like my real life is like pulling me in a million different directions. A lot of things going on right now. It's like I'm sorry. I truly like I try. Sometimes it's too rough, but if you stick around on the channel, I will. I promise you, like I will remember. Like just be patient with me. There's a lot going on. This is new to me too, as well. Like I don't. I'm not used to. I'm not used to this. So. If it helps you more too, I'm like exhausted right now too. So we'll blame it on that. We'll say, "Oh, I'm tired." If I wasn't so tired, I'd remember. We'll go with that, right? Damn, my girlfriend's just distracting me. Can't believe her. We laughed together. Remember that? But yeah, I just filmed a good video. Should be out when I finish this. Um, like alchemy. Like, do you want more books on that subject? If you're interested in alchemy, um, Psychology and Alchemy is a good book by Carl Jung. The Kabbalion. Uh, what else can I see right now? Um, I think Maypee Hall is pretty. Really, if you just like look up like the generic books, like just look up alchemy, like it'll give you enough. Like the thing is, like, I don't think people understand is like there's no such thing as like hidden knowledge. It's really just all there. It's just people are so lazy that they don't seek it out. It's like if you are interested in a subject and you literally just go type into Amazon like whatever it is, whatever subject you're interested in, like you can find good books. Same thing with Barnes and Nobles too. Like even Barnes and Nobles has like some crazy deep information in it, and that's like a chain. You know what I mean? It's like the information's all there. It's all really accessible. It's just most people aren't willing to spend any time or effort. And again, there's like a million channels like mine that are talking about ideas like this. I talk about more esoteric stuff. Favorite science fiction book? Fahrenheit 451 probably. It's the only one I like. I guess 1984 is science fiction. It's all right. I don't really read science fiction. My bad. But Fahrenheit 451 is something I think you'd like. I've read it in my first language. It was amazing. That's cool. That's cool. What's your first language? I read it in my first language too. That's my only language. Ender's Game. I've never read that. What's up, Hypnodia? How's everything? Just waiting for you to join. It's the only reason I stream. Yeah, Hypnodia. I'll show you the book I picked up. I don't know if you saw my message, but I saw this book yesterday and I was like, all right, enough people have told me to read this, so I just picked it up. But I should finish that at some point this week. That's one of the books at the top of my list. Everything is good. Happy Sunday. Yeah, it's good to hear. What's it about? Isn't he like talking to the devil or something? Hypothetically, like that's what the basis of it is. That's what I know about the book. I don't know anything else. I just know it's about him having a conversation with the devil. You read Angela's Ash by Frank Court? No, I have not. I don't read much fiction. I'm sorry. I'm like just starting to get into it again. Arbeck's my language. Oh, okay. Never heard of it, but I mean, you learn something new every day, right? It's a memoir. Again, I don't read that kind of stuff. My bad. For me to read a book, it has to be like I wouldn't say somewhat a classic, but it has to be like certain topics that I'm interested in. Like if you want me to read a book, literally just say how it's like similar to a book that I'm reading, and I'll pick it up. Like that's really the cheat code. Like everyone asks me to read books for them, or look into things, and I'm like, you gotta in some way like make me interested in it. It's your favorite horror story? I guess Frankenstein. It's the only one I've read. Have you read any Philip K. Dick? No, I don't know who that is. Absolute classic. Yeah. It's a really good book. I mean, did it start the whole genre? I feel like it's one of the biggest ones in that genre. But I guess it probably didn't start it. I guess there's like the Grimm fairy tales and stuff like that. He wrote Man in the High Castle and other alternative timelines. Okay, that's interesting. What's the most bad funny book you've read? Like it was so bad that it became good. Um, I don't know. I like okay. So I read a lot of self help books. So that's most of what I read. So like I can tell you bad self help books that I like that like a book maybe that fits that is the 4 Hour Work Week because it's like it has decent information, but it just went on entirely way too long and um like there's a meme online of like people like literally just offloading their work to like Indian call centers and paying them a lot less and making a lot more and then like literally just profiting off the difference and that's what the entire book was about. So it was just really funny to read that like a book that was selling millions of copies was basically telling people to offload work to third world countries. Which in essence is not unethical because the people in the third world countries like you give them a below standard minimum wage here, it's like their currency carries a lot more. It's like our currency, like $2 an hour of work here is like that's insane. But you pay someone in another country like that $2 an hour is like a really good living. So, but it's just kind of interesting. Castle of Enchanted started the horizon. Oh, okay, okay. Broken Flowers, a nice novel. I finished it. So. Okay. What's up, Patrick? I got your name right this time. Yeah, I only knew because remember when I said Patrick Star? That's all I remember. That's what we did. But yeah, anyone want to talk about anything real quick? I'm not gonna stay on for too long. Just wanted to say hi to you guys and hang out for a little bit. Um, the book I'm reading right now is amazing. The Trial, tremendous book. I should have that video out in a few days. Yeah, give them funny connections. That's how you remember anything. Like if you associate it with an image or an idea, that's how you can remember things. Like a lot of times when I was memorizing cases, I would find the most interesting detail, and simply by memorizing the most interesting detail of each case, I can remember more of the specifics. So it's not really something that you have to do for a lot of things, but like if you can, in some way, tie an interesting, weird thing about each individual term, each individual example, whatever it is that you're trying to memorize, it's a really good way to always remember it. What's your favorite movie? The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is probably my favorite movie. That's such a good movie. It truly is. It's crazy to me because that movie was made in like the '60s, and it still holds up fairly well. Like it holds up better than like most Marvel movies do. Most Marvel movies you watch and like the CGI is terrible. Like whatever is terrible, but like that movie was so well shot. The score is so good. Music's so good. Yeah, it's a western. Have you not seen that hidden movie? I would have thought you would have been the only one to see that here. Letting me down. Can't believe you. That's crazy. Trying to become as stoic as I can at the moment. Don't no. Okay. Do you understand what stoicism is? Stoicism is like rejecting emotion. Stoicism is like rationalizing everything, and it's good if you're anxious. It's good if you're fearful. It's good if you're um, being overwhelmed by emotion, but it's not good because it means you can't experience happiness. Like that's what stoicism. Like look into Taoism. Taoism is a much better ideology. Taoism is like stoicism, but it's more practical. Like stoicism is just like, oh yeah, you can look at old age and you can be sad because your life is slipping away, but you also now value your life so much more. And it's kind of like a, not that it's more materialistic, but that's what it ends up being for most people. Most people think it's just like pure discipline, pure rationality, but it's not about presence. Like the presence part of Taoism is what sets it apart. So I want you to be present. I don't want you to be stoic. I want you to just exist in the moment. I don't want you to have to rationalize things. Just exist in the moment. It's a much better way to approach life because stoicism will take you out of happiness. Stoicism will take you out of joy. It will take you out of the moment. You don't want to become a robot. Is that the moment where he says you feel unlucky, kid? No, that's Dirty Harry. Stoicism is not mainly about presence. Not, well, maybe presence in a different sense. But it's pure rationality, which I don't agree with. Because we were born with emotions for a reason. Do you like The Walking Dead and zombie movies? I've never seen The Walking Dead. Is that a show I should watch? I just never got into it. I heard it goes downhill like really fast. Like it's really good in the beginning, but then it's not as good later on. And again, I don't know if that's correct or not, but there's a few zombie movies I've liked. I think World War Z came out when I was younger, and I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. But I've never watched it back. I don't know. I think it's an interesting genre, but it's not something I've like watched recently. Again, that could just more so be like trends. Like I feel like they haven't come out with a good zombie movie lately. I just watched Indiana Jones with my girlfriend for the first time, and she fell asleep, and she like I had to keep telling her what was happening. So just can't believe her. Yeah, the pacing of older movies is so much better, and like I don't know about you, but like have you noticed like ever since Marvel started doing like the humor to like break the tension in extreme moments, like every movie does that now, which is just kind of annoying. I think I know what you're saying, but you spelled everything wrong, so it's hard to follow. Yeah, presence of activity, creativity. Yeah, I just think Stoicism harkens too much on rationality. I think it doesn't allow room for life. I think the more you try to explain things, the less you can live. Because inherently, when you try to explain nature, when you try to explain the happenings that are going on, like you kind of just lose the meaning in it. Like if you try to explain what a rose is, you can explain every single chemical that creates the color. You could explain why it has thorns. You could explain everything about it, but then it takes away the beauty from a rose. It takes away the beauty from life. So when you try to explain things instead of just experience them, it takes a little bit away from it. Yeah, every movie doesn't need to be Deadpool level funny. I mean, every movie couldn't be Deadpool level funny. Like that's just a funny character. It's a funny premise. What's up, Nate? Finally. What do you mean finally I have a girlfriend? What is that supposed to mean? Ever since I've been live streaming, I've had a girlfriend. I don't know what you're talking about. You're happy? That's awesome. Go to page 24. I don't feel like looking. I have no idea where it is in my room right now. Remind me to do that later. But yeah, I'm. It's not even so much that I disagree with the Stoics. It's just I disagree with a lot of the interpretations. Like I think a lot of the interpretations are wrong. I think a lot of them look at it too materialistically. I know Seneca is like the reason I like Seneca is Seneca had a deep understanding of the philosophy as well as life. Whereas I think Marcus Aurelius was more so trying to um, like it was more so like meditations is more so a journal. It's not really a book. It's not written to be a system of life. It's written to be a almost like an affirmation, almost like him telling himself how to think. I think that serves a different purpose for the individual than it does for another person. Like I think it's not really meant to be read in that manner. I think if you read Seneca, you'd be much better off. He's controlling himself with his words, yeah. But I think if you like don't read it with that context, I think you're gonna not grasp really what the point of it was. Damn, cold. Let me turn on the heat. You sure? Turn on the heat. Wow, you're so shy. I'm gonna end this in a few minutes, don't worry. I thought you were just gonna take longer. Create content together with your girlfriend. She has the same interests. No, I'm not doing that. It's not as funny as me. She just rolled her eyes. I don't think she wants to do this. What's that good book about love you mentioned? The Master of Love. I mean, there's a lot of good books about love, but that's the one I would suggest most. That's the one that has the best approach. That's the one that I think handles the subject the best because, I mean, the one thing about love that you need to understand is that you can't give love to someone else unless you give love to yourself. Like, you need to accept all parts of yourself so that someone else can as well. Like, if I hide parts of myself and then I try to be part of a relationship, like, that's going to bleed into the relationship. What you create in a relationship is the combination of both spirits. And if the spirit isn't fully loved, if it isn't fully accepted, then the relationship's not going to be fully accepted. I think that's the best way to describe it. Why is it the best in your regard? I just said it, but my bad. The delay is crazy. It's like 30 seconds, so sometimes I answer the question before it gets asked. Yeah, that's really the emphasis of the book. The emphasis of the book is like come to grips with yourself so that you can come to grips with someone else. Because how could you ever accept someone else if you can't accept yourself? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the couples content too is like not to slander anybody, but it's kind of cringe. It's not like something I would really want to do. Like maybe at some point she hops on a video, her eyes just went like that. See what I mean? Like it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. A lot of people don't. It's like I don't know. She's shy. She's just smiling at me. But yeah. I'll stream later. I'm kind of tired right now. I'm gonna post a video in probably like 5-10 minutes. Be careful with your love, guys. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I'll post a video in like probably 10 minutes. All I have to do is make the thumbnail, and that should be out. And I'll stream again later, guys. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's cool doing these. It's cool just talking to you real quick. These are much more fun. Very mediocre book. Okay. Wow. If you don't like it, doesn't matter. But I like it. See, the thing is, like, if you don't like a book and I like it, I don't care. If you like a book and I don't like it, you shouldn't care either. It's just, it's what we can learn from each book. It's what we can impact into our own lives. And sometimes the messaging, sometimes the packaging doesn't resonate with me, but that doesn't mean it's not going to resonate with you. So always keep that in mind. Always keep in mind we all have our own opinions, and it doesn't really matter what you believe, because it only matters what I believe. To a certain extent. To a certain extent. Obviously, like, if the entire world is telling me like this book is terrible, maybe it's terrible. Like, maybe I should at least take their, you know, criticism and look at it objectively and understand. But again, I'll see